Orbit going to be banning out the Twisted Fate. They're not going to pass on their first ban this time. This big critical part. And, in hindsight, maybe not the best of moves.
I don't think. I mean, skipping that first ban, it didn't result in anything bad for Legion. Or for Orbit. They were still in a good situation. They were able to grab both Nautilus and Malphite, which is what they wanted to do. Maybe pick Malphite a little bit later. I think people are just infatuated with him to such a degree right now. I love Malphite. I mean, he's the greatest thing ever. He wins games left and right. But when you start running double AP teams against Malphite, when you have lots of mobility, like they had with Kassadin and Ezreal, it gives you a situation where Malphite's like, okay, who do I ult? I'm only going to be able to ult one person, and he's just going to flash away, so it's not really going to be that big of an issue. They do actually ban him out, though, Orbit this time, so they don't want to pick him up. They didn't want Legion to pick him up with that second and third pick.
Yep.
And then the Vladimir ban as well. Vladimir was really the disruptive force in that last game, and he just... Cruiser just absolutely crushed Orbit, and it was mainly the Vladimir. So getting rid of that, we'll see how they do this game.
Kennen open, Nocturne open, Urgot open, Shen is open. Legion, are they going to pass? There you go, there's the Shen. So Kennen, Nocturne, and Urgot are all open. There you go. There's the quick Urgot pick. Orbit's going to secure him. And that's going to be... That's going to be a little difficult to deal with bot lane. Granted, he did get a little bit tweaked a while back. He's still an amazing presence in the bot lane, still super tanky. But Nocturne and Kennen, the remaining two open champs from last game, will be quickly picked up by Legion.
Yeah, and the big thing with Urgot, he's such an all-around strong champion. He can win games single-handedly. But he also opens up different comps that you can run. And a lot of why Ryze has kind of fallen off is because you can get ranged champions like Anivia that shut down Ryze very well later in the game if you have that long-range CC and whatnot. But because with an Urgot comp, you can run your entire team as those kind of upfront tanky bruisers. And so I would expect to see a Ryze right here. They have the setup for it. On the other side, Legion picking the Vayne and the Nunu, they already have Kennen. Kennen good top, and they could switch mid into a Anivia pick, but it's most likely going to be Kennen mid. Probably does play a lot of Kennen.
Now Vayne, she doesn't have the biggest range in the world, so she's going to be very vulnerable to all of the acid that Urgot is swinging for the lock on. But and the ultimate as well. But hopefully,
is this
Nunu
gonna be a Zillion maybe?
Ooh, could be
Zillion or Ryze. I'm curious.
Yeah.
All right, I'm listening.
But anyway, for Legion, though, and hopefully Nunu on the Blood Boil with that movement speed steroid may hopefully help Vayne try and evade most of those lock-ons. But that's in the best case scenario. Gonna have to see how good Orbit can be with Urgot with getting those lock-ons. And if you get one, Vayne, she's pretty squishy early on. She's gonna be hurting.
Yeah, in Orbit right now, they have a really tanky team. Not going with either. They actually switch it up with the Swain, so they have an almost unkillable team. That's what their goal is. The Urgot swap on Vayne could be devastating. That's going to force Vayne, probably after her first items, into a quick Silver Sash, which is going to really reduce a lot of Vayne's damage outputs. That's a serious issue. However, they already have the Nunu, so the Blood Boil is huge. Here's the issue for Orbit, though. They're running a heavy melee team, really a short-range team, even with Swain, and they're going to have to be walking into Kennen and into Nunu, and then Legion now has the Janna, so it's actually going to be a jungle, or maybe a top?
I think a top Nunu.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a top Nunu. It could be a top Nocturne. That's also an option, and Lido Mortis has been playing Nunu recently in the jungle, but top Nunu, with the changes, does have a lot of potential as an AP. So that's going to be exciting. It could also be Janna in the mid lane, and that's probably the most likely, is Janna in the mid lane with Kennen top. We'll see what they kind of end up doing, because Vayne and Nunu makes the most sense out of entities for the bot lane.
So Cruiser,
it's going to be Janna mid, yeah.
Yeah.
So Janna top maybe.
Janna top. We're still switching around, so not quite going to be 100% for sure until the spectator delay starts. But there's still a lot of options. Whoever probably is going to be on is going to have teleport, so going to be quite mobile for whenever ganks need to happen, or if there any lane needs assistance, is being pushed out too much. Probably going to be used mostly for the bot lane, because Urgot, granted pretty tanky, is going to need a lot of help. For now it looks like it's going to be Nunu top for the moment. This could still subject to change. We still got a good 10 seconds to go. And now we're just being messed with here.
Okay, so probably,
Stop
yeah,
playing musical champions.
I'm a little bit surprised by the summoners. So it's probably running the teleport, but he is going to be going
There you
mid
go.
Janna. So mid
Janna
Janna
mid.
definitely makes sense. And then because he's not expecting to get kills onto Swain, he doesn't need to run the ignite. He runs the teleport so he can get down into that bottom lane when there's an aggressive gank or get into that top lane, help out his team. And so they have a lot of fight control. It's all about protecting Vayne, really. So they have all the CC. The short range team, they're going to have to walk through the Nunu ultimate, which is why the Soraka is nice. They're really tanky, but then the silence can also break the Nunu ultimate, because otherwise they're missing out
Yeah.
on good disables. They only have Darius, really, without using their ultimates to break that Nunu ultimate.
Yeah. So
So
hook.
they're
Yeah.
all going to have to walk right through it.
Hook, silence, boot to the head.
Well, Urgot, but you don't want
Yeah.
to use the Urgot.
Yeah, you
just
don't.
to
Yeah,
get
you don't
rid
want
of
to. Yeah, you
Nunu.
don't want to be using Urgot for that. So, but these are all team fight critical things. Like Soraka with a quick silence can go ahead and just cancel it in the Nunu ult. But also remember that it has been tweaked. It no longer, if you get like right when it starts up, you no longer get away from Nunu ult for free. You do now take like at least a minimum amount of damage every time if it
Yep.
does break right at the very beginning.
Yep, not a lot, but
Yeah.
it's still there.
It's significant
So
still.
we'll see how that kind of works. They don't have an exhaust in the bottom lane, so that's kind of interesting. But even so, Urgot, he has a lot of ability-based damage, so I mean he is going to be very aggressive. The short range from Vayne is going to be an issue versus Urgot. We'll see how that kind of works. And I think a lot of people also forget the Urgot passive. Having that damage reduction on an enemy AD carry can be very strong, particularly against someone like Vayne. We'll have to see. Vayne,
Yep.
a lot of the damage comes from true damage. Vayne could go, because it's against the Soraka, will likely go for a fast Wriggles and then transition into a movement speed, attack speed build. Because with Nunu, you can go the Wriggles into the Phantom Dancer and not really buy any quick big items. So that's definitely a nice situation for them.
Yep.
I always like the Darius and Urgot, though. Having the swap into the pool, it's single target disables. It can work very well, and Darius has been shown to be very strong in that top lane. And now the Kennen nerf to the range could actually factor into this situation, because Darius's pool is 500 range. Kennen's attack range, it was 575. Now it's 550. But if Kennen just barely gets a little bit out of range because of that little change, he could pull himself into that Darius range, and then Darius chases him down.
Yep. But if what you do say is true, and if we have Vayne going Wriggles, Nocturne will naturally get Wriggles.
Yeah.
Plus, you also have Nunu Consume.
Yeah.
That is a very, very quick dragon if given the opportunity. Same thing with Baron.
Yeah, it is going to be a very fast dragon, so it's a really aggressive team for that. Orbit's going to have to watch out, and if Legion times it, they could maybe time it when Swain's going up to get blue or something, or if they see High L9 ganking top lane, that's definitely an open opportunity for them to go down. Though I think because they have the Nocturne and the teleport on Janna, they're not going to just abandon lanes. They're going to force, when Lee Sin ganks, force those 4v2s or 3v2 situations with the Nocturne ult in, with the Janna ult in. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Both junglers are very fast, but I don't know, it might reduce some of those killing opportunities for Darius, so he can't snowball like he would like to, but he should be able to farm okay versus Kennen.
Yes, I think in terms, as far as the junglers are concerned, I think, pre-6, I think Lee Sin does have a little bit of an advantage, but once 6 happens, Nocturne, his ganking potential goes out of control. So if I would not, I don't think it'd be too far-fetched to expect a level 2 gank actually from High L9.
Yeah, so we'll see what High L9 tries to do. That is the potential. It's tough to say which lane he would go to.
Yeah.
He could. Janna is not a really gankable lane, so he's not going to ever go mid. Swain's going to just farm mid.
Kennen's going to be difficult too.
Bot lane's going to be a pretty difficult lane. Kennen's going to be a difficult lane. He could go, if he starts blue, go right up to Kennen and get the level 2 gank before Kennen gets the lightning rush, just to give Darius a little bit of a lead, because Kennen will win that lane early with the ranged harass. So that would be kind of nice. But I think for the most part, they're going to sit back, play defensively, and just farm. And Lee Sin will mostly stick to the jungle.
Yeah, just look and farm up and try and be a supporting jungler just for a little bit. Level up. It wouldn't be also too far-fetched to just level up the shield first for all that protection in team fights. It's a very effective tool, and don't ever underestimate it. Granted, yes, it can be used for very speedy movement, but it is a shield for you and a friend. It's always a good thing. So there you go. A lot of pings going down for Orbit. I think they may be looking to go for an invade the long way, but Legion also getting in position. I think they're just looking to defend their own blue and secure it, or possibly even go in for the red. Lattimore does get a little bit too far out in the bush, so you might as well just go ahead, commit, go all the way around. But there are a lot of pings going down from orbit to where it looks like Legion seems to be going, and there you go, Nubby Pooh Bear will actually get the vision. Lattimore is coming on in, just, you know, frightening him, just like, yeah, look at my face. I got my legs for arms. I love that comic. I do. I really do love that comic. Like the first time I saw that thing, is just like, oh, human Nocturne. Just sever his legs and just duct tape him on his arms. I love that idea.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that skin. But
I would love to. I've only ever purchased one skin, and that was Bunny Riven. And if they actually did human Nocturne, just take my money.
There's a bunch that I'm waiting for. The one that I'm really waiting for, I want the David Bowie Ziggy Stardust Ezreal. So I don't know. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Lattimore is going to be starting off. Get the Wolves, get the blue. Both of them just going to do a standard jungle, but Lee Sin actually starting bottom.
Yep.
A lot of times you can see Lee Sin start at the blue, but the benefit is he can get a gank down bottom or just transition up into the top lane to prevent the Lattimore gank. So that's kind of probably what he's going to be doing.
Oh, and he started out Q. He started
Yeah.
out Q, so he's probably going to be leveling the W first. It should be a quick level 2 somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. That does give him that kind of potential. But, I mean, Q does give you a lot of damage versus, buffs.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. I think probably what he's going to do is jungle up towards the top lane and then sit in the bush and wait for Lattimortis to gank top. Because if ganks top and throws Darius behind, that could be really difficult for Orb's team. So they want to make sure that he gets a nice situation.
Loud is saving the smite. I think he just wants to go ahead and get the red really quick and then go for possibly a level 3. But Highland is getting very low, actually doing the lizard buff here.
Yeah, and saving that smite, he is going to get the double buff level 3. He's actually going for the race. I thought he would skip the race. Usually you'll skip the race, go straight to the red, and then be able to gank top at really early time, like just below 3 minutes, which is always kind of surprising. But he will be a little bit behind. They did catch him at the ward, so Darius should be okay. Should be able to play defensively.
Yeah, so I mean, that's fantastic ward placement. Not because you see them go, but you can pretty safely assume that after a jungler does wraiths, he's gonna go ahead and do red buff, and then you can time it. It's like, okay, he's gonna be top lane. He's going to be near my lane in about 30 seconds looking for a gank more than likely, and that's my time to play defensive. Lemon Nation getting caught out.
Oh,
but there's a teleport from Prawley very early on. Looking for the slow, the Zephyr on the Lemon Nation, and there you go. Getting the quick kill. Nien does get the kill on the Prawley, though, but still, the first blood gold, was it worth it?
Yes, they got the first blood and they got 2 assists, so it's very easily worth it. Now they can, bully around Urgot a little bit. He does have to watch out top, though, almost walking right into Lattimortis. I'm surprised he didn't go for it, and actually they are going for it now. Lee Sin is here, though, gets the Q onto Cruiser, and so Cruiser is very low. The hook back, he does have to flash out of there. They both flash after him,
but
so they pick up the kill.
Can you get the kill? Yes, he can onto Yuzuki. And now Jungle Fight. Jungle Fight! Can you get the fear once again? Heil9 does clear the distance with the shield. But Lattimortis will actually come out ahead in that one. And Heil9 is getting very, very low here. Does not want to be looking to go ahead and engage once again. But a lot of action very early on. Gold still bang on even despite 2 kills for each side. But Prawley did die, did have to go back. Granted, you did get the first blood, you did die in the process, and use the teleport. That gave Nubby Pooh Bear a ton of time to just chill in mid and to farm and to catch up over the gold that Prawley made getting that first blood.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how well the Swain does later in the game. Lattimortis still focusing on the top lane, wants to shut down Darius, but it's pushed into his tower. He's going to be okay. But late game, Swain, when he already has this tanky team with him, he's going to be almost unkillable. The shield from Lee Sin, the Soraka heals, it's going to be very difficult to take him down. So if Urgot gets the swap on the Vayne, it's over basically. But if not, then Legion will have a lot of damage and a lot of team fight control.
Like I mentioned before, getting the acid onto Vayne hurts so much because you have to clear so much distance to try and get away. Granted, yes, you have Blood Boil, yes, you have the Tumble, but even there, the acid, wow, just barely getting out of that one.
Yeah, so they will back off, but he is very low right now. He does have the regen advantage from Soraka, so he's going to be able to push back up, get some mana, and then still focus down Demon Lull. But so he's going to have to play defensively for a second here, but Demon Lull should be okay because of how low and how little mana Urgot has. He doesn't really have to worry about that killing potential with the Nunu support.
Cruiser there, top lane, looking to push the way, but Yuzuki does actually have a level advantage for now. And Lee Sin getting up the Madrid's, actually both junglers getting the Madrid's Razors to speed up their jungle just a little bit. And, you know, Orb, they're going to need a little something to take Dragon and Baron down a little bit easier looking at Legion's team comp. So Lee Sin buying a Wriggles, it's not too uncommon, and he's going to go ahead and have that for the rest of his team if and when they do decide to start engaging on the Dragon and later on Baron.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a really nice item. I mean, if he expects that Nocturne's going to go it allows him to keep up in jungling speed. It works very well with Lee Sin, so it just makes sense. Swain should be able to farm very easily. Brutalizer on Urgot, so, you know, really common first item.
Yep.
But not going with the tier because he has the Soraka, so that's going to just be a lot of damage. He can try and shut down Vayne. Once they hit level 6 on Urgot, I would probably expect Lee Sin to make his way down there. So Lee Sin going for the Wolves, he will probably transition down towards the bot lane. Actually going top, but still, once Urgot hits level 6, they're going to have to watch out that they don't just get repeated kills on Vayne in that bottom lane.
So now I got to talk a little bit about Prawley because, and there are a lot of people out there who probably have never seen an AP Janet in the mid before. What? We actually got Ken and Cruiser. Top lane, he almost gets hit with that Q. Can you give us a quick, like, 15-second rundown about what AP Janna is all about?
Well, I think it's funny that AP Janna is actually almost common enough that it's, you know, very well known to most people. But it is a kind of screwy thing. Supports, a lot of supports are very strong in the mid lane, and Janna is definitely one of them. With the auto attack harass, with the shield, you can beat a lot of champions. Then actually the AP ratios on Janna are phenomenal. So you have a lot of team fight control. You have CC, but you also have long range poke, long range burst. You get fast Deathfire's grasp usually. And the big thing is it's a protect the Vayne comp. So they have that extra support. That's what they needed. They wanted the Nunu for the Blood Boil, but they also wanted Janna just for a little bit more fight control.
Nice. Loud Mortis going to also be passing off that blue to our AP Janna here. Probably going to go ahead and grab that, take it back with him into the mid. Demon Will and Nubish looking to push out bot lane, trying to keep Nian and Lemon Nation at their tower to deny a little bit of that farm, but there you go, lock on onto Vayne. She needs to get out of here. Lee Sin also not too far behind in bot lane here. He did hit 6. He does have the Dragon's Rage. He does have that kick available. But Nocturne, Loud Mortis, he is also 6.
Where's the experience on Urgot, though? Because once he hits 6, they have to watch out for that fast
There,
ult.
just dinged it. Just dinged it. He's looking for his opportunity on Nubish. There you go. There's a swap. And Lee Sin kick backwards, waiting for it. Don't even need it. Nice, quick kill from Orbit on
so the
to
fast
the support.
level up, they know the second they hit 6 that someone is going to die. And from now on, they really need to be careful in that bottom lane because every single time that Urgot ultimate is up, they could get a kill. High L9 getting in on Prawley. Probably will be able to get out of there, so he's going to be safe. I think it's interesting. Well, he's actually walking right back into him. Has to use the flash.
Does also have to use a tornado, but still the kick in pursuit. Lee Sin still have the lock on.
Either, and with how low Prawley was, he almost would have gone down. I was about to say it's kind of unusual to see the Monsoon on an AP Janna at level 6. It's not a bad decision. On support Janna, you're always going to get Monsoon. Nocturne actually coming up top, trying to get on Yuzuki. Will be able to get off the fear, and Cruiser has the ultimate as well. Darius way out of position, but can he turn it around?
There's the dunk. Will he be able to? Oh, nice. Does still manage to get a kill out of that one. Almost got out of that one, Loud Mortis.
And so going back to the Janna thing, Monsoon on Janna, Swain actually coming from the top lane, maybe going to dive Kennen. Kennen not very low, so that's going to be kind of tough. But actually the flash in, he doesn't get the snare, but then following up with that AoE damage with the Ignite as well, the kick, they are able to get that kill, and Janna just a little too late.
Teleport, it probably should have been canceled at that point because there's really nothing to gain here. Plus now Prawley's out of position. He's just find his way back all the way down into the mid. So probably could have benefited from a cancel there, but now you see Elimination and Yen now just imposing their will onto this bot lane from Legion. You saw Urgot, he dinged 6. His ult is actually almost back up once again. There you go. There it is. Yeah, so the threat for a kill.
Back to it. I should probably just give up and stop trying. But Janna, the ultimate on AP Janna, a lot of times you want to keep leveling your abilities so you have a little bit more damage in fights. But because she knows that she's not going to be trying to kill Swain, a lot of times in the mid you can get that extra damage for that burst. She wants the Monsoon.
Soraka
Legion,
out of position. Lemonation does get condemned against the wall. Nubish with the ult will not be interrupted. And he is going to take a whole bunch of damage. Lemonation will still go down right here. But Demon Will should actually be able to get the safety in the end. Can you get the last hit? No, you cannot. There you go. Two quick kills for Legion.
Too, very easily for Legion.
Absolutely.
5-5 right now, but it's going to result in a 500 gold advantage for them.
Very well done. Nunu's there with the consume. You can just go ahead and nom that. And, you know, Vayne's here with true damage and probably wisely using the ultimate, healing on up because, hey, AP Janna, that's going to heal a little bit more than it usually would on a support. So might as well use it when the whole gang's here.
Yeah, not that much, but it is nice. Lee Sin actually coming in, though, maybe going to chase down Nocturne. He does get out of there. He is okay. And so
could still do it. No, I don't think he's actually going to be pretty okay, but just probably don't be making any hasty decisions to try and go into your own jungle. No, Cube does miss a lot of Mortis, but there you go. There's a lot of damage going down in the root. Will keep him still. Probably, can you actually do something to help out your jungler? There's the Decrepify going down once again. A lot of Mortis may actually get caught out here. One more quick. Yeah, there you go. Tempest will get that kill.
Yeah, so really nice job from them. And Lee Sin combos very well with a lot of their teams. So, you know, Darius keeping him tanky. If Darius gets the pull on someone, particularly Vayne, then Lee Sin shields over, gets the attack speed slow, gets the follow-up to help Darius take people down. Urgot gets in there, you know, Lee Sin with the shield. Swain being able to pass over the buff. Was just a really nice overall jungling choice. We'll see how it continues to work, but Darius is starting to take control of that top lane. He's a level ahead of Kennen. He's actually walking
and also
up
behind
him.
Kennen will just go ahead and rush on out, but there's the flash and the hook, getting a lot of those stacks, but Cruiser does pop the ult. Will you be able to get the stun on Yuzuki? No. There's the ignite. There's a lot of hemorrhage stacks on him as well. He's bleeding out. Will he be able to live? Just barely.
Yeah, and so I think Darius recognized he wasn't going to die, but it was very close. And at the very least, he's bought himself some time to continue to farm,
push the lane,
continue to take advantage of that lane.
And also try and bait Nocturne up as well. May actually be coming on in here. Top lane, Lee Sin is not too far behind. There is the kick, the Q. Oh, Nocturne, you have an Oracles. You may not want to be pressuring too much, or you are outnumbered. You do not want to lose that 400 gold investment right now.
Yeah, so they will back off. Kennen actually in a nice position because a lot of the minions are stacking up at his tower, so they were able to kill a single wave. So Darius still pushing, but will back off, get some items. Nien doing some nice harass in the bottom lane.
Very well
but
done.
Not really able to get that much on the Vayne. So Vayne has the quick tumble, can get out of there. It's actually interesting though, because the tumble is such short range, a lot of times it might be difficult to dodge the Acid Hunter. You know, Graves with the quick dash, you counter out Urgot because you can get out of there really quickly. You usually don't get hit by it. But Vayne, it's such a short distance that a lot of times you will get hit.
Yeah, but like I said, you know, we do have Nunu, we do have the Blood Boil. There we go, Condemn, nice angle up against the wall in the end, will be slowed. But Legion knows when to back off, when they've gotten the maximum amount of damage done, and they're just going to go ahead and try and be as safe as they can in bot lane. They don't want to give anything else up at this point. Yuzuki does get stunned top lane. Cruiser with just one little stack of hemorrhage should be able to walk out of there as well. And probably in mid with Mortis, figure out what they want to do. And Mortis will discover that bot river is warded. There's the swap down onto Inubish. There's a kick from high L9, trying to keep him slowed. And there's the Nocturne ult, trying to block as much vision as possible. The Fear will get the Lee Sin. Chasing after Nien. Will you get the kill? Yes, you can. And Elimination actually does get the kill onto Vayne. But there you go,
yeah,
Legion.
They have to follow up on the high L9. They will get the Fear, the Whirlwind, but he actually shields
Elimination.
onto a minion.
Bananas on Nubish. Can you get the banana kill? No.
Yeah, so they're able to back out of there, but actually Swain with the follow-up, he actually flashes in. Oh,
never moves, does not hit
snare.
Nubish, but he starts taking tower hits, reconsiders his options, backs off. But meanwhile, top lane, we're actually going to go back real quick and try and see that kill. Yuzuki top lane with Cruiser. I think he's just going for a straight-out dive at this point. 1, 2, 3, combo. There you go. So that's going to be that kill up top lane.
Yeah, he's plenty of damage at this
out.
point.
There you go.
Just barely. It's like the 5-point palm exploding heart technique on Kennen, and he walks out of there. Yuzuki knows he's going to die in a second.
Yeah.
Just hit rewind a second.
Yeah.
It'll be
there you go.
And so he is going to be able to get that top lane. They have really nice control so far. They have to watch out for the AoE and how successful Vayne can be in fights. But Vayne, doing okay with farming, but is kind of behind. And if they continue to pressure this game, then maybe Vayne can't get into those big items that she wants. She's actually not going to be going to a Wriggles at this point. She's just going to be going up to the Bloodthirster because she wants those mid-game items. But because they have so much, because Orb has so much killing potential, they might start grouping up, try and get an Urgot swap with their team there, and then just take towers as a result of it.
So there you go, 15 minutes and Gold, it's only a 1K difference. This is actually really a pretty even game at the moment. So now it's just a matter of where do you go from here? You got the Wriggles on Nocturne, and Vane's actually looking to beef up as well. Not to, looking to finish off onto that Bloodthirster. That's going to be a huge amount of damage. Also stacking the Doran's Blades as well for a little bit extra health. And Nien, on the Urgot, got the Glacial Shroud. Going to be looking for the Frozen Heart much later on, but that's a lot of cooldown reduction. That's going to be a lot of damage coming on in as well. So we're going to see where that build takes him. You also got Darius up top lane. You got the Phage, and the kick going down on the Cruiser. Hook from Yuzuki. Looking to follow up. There's a lot of hemorrhage stacks on Cruiser. Never move. Makes Kennen Nevermore into top lane. Nice snipe off that kill. And there you go, the Acid Hunter getting down onto Demon Wall. That's a lot of damage coming from Urgot as well. Just bringing Vayne to half just on that combo. Loudamortis, you're out of position. What are you doing? 2 stacks. Looking for the fear, trying to keep them away. Teleport top lane though from Probably. Will he be here in time? The wave, the kick does not happen for High L9. The Monsoon keeping Loudamortis safe, going to keep him healed up just for a little bit, but there's still a great amount of pressure top lane at the tier 2 by Orbit.
Yeah, and so at this point, Janna doesn't quite have the same damage output that you would expect from a normal AP carry. Late game, Janna's single target burst is really strong, but mostly you have Janna for the utility, so they need to play defensively, but they're engaging in the mid lane, and Vayne is way out of position. The snare not going to get it, but there's the hook will into Yuzuki. Demon Law is actually able to get out of there, and there's the Nunu ultimate. They're going to go down very quickly. Nocturne with the ultimate in. Vayne able to pick up the kill into Swain. Lemon Nation going down. Cruiser just barely not able to get in on Darius, but they do pick up the 2 kills. They are going to be able to get this tower.
Urgot not a factor in that fight because he wasn't quite there at all. But he is by the dragon. The lock-on does get into Inubish, but the rest of the team is here to push him away. And this could be a dragon for Legion, but if Orbit... They are very low. If Orbit decides to go in and try and stop something here, it's going to be risky. They are going to be outnumbering them, but there you go. High L9 going on in. The stun from Kennen. The kick from Loudamortis. Will Nien be able to capitalize on this one? No. Loudamortis escapes with just a thread. And Nien looking to try now and get away from the slow push. There's a slow coming from Janna.
He got the Nocturne. He walked right up while Nocturne was actually trying to recall.
Oh, God.
And so, unfortunately, Legion, they were low, but Orb was also low. They couldn't
the
quite
bush is
pull it up.
ward, and that sucks for Loudamortis. I'm sure he just he just did the ult just to be a jerk. It's like, I know you're here. I know a Q will do the job.
Well, the ult insta-kills him. The Q, he would have had to turn the corner a little bit. Maybe it gives Nocturne an opportunity to take a step back.
And he also would not have looked as Fly.
He would not have looked as Fly.
That's always a very important factor whenever you're playing LoL. If you're going to do something, you need to look cool while doing it. It's just a rule.
In the fight before the Dragon how absolutely crushing the Nunu pick is for Legion.
Yes.
Against the short-range team, they were all caught in the Nunu ultimate, and then having the Blood Boil on Vayne as well, it's absolutely dominant. So Orbit really has to watch out for that. But again, if they force the initiation, they're going to be okay. It's just whether or not they have to walk through all of that AoE damage.
It's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
And a lot of disable, too.
A lot of disable, a lot of true damage in that as well. A lot of good fair amount of disruption if
Vayne's the only true damage.
What? Vayne does true damage.
Yeah, but it's just Vayne. Oh, okay.
We were talking about Nunu
for a second. No,
it's just Vayne.
But we were talking about Nunu for a second, and you were like,
I was talking about everybody. I was talking about everybody.
But Darius actually
there's a rest of the team here, but Loudamortis
is in the bad position here. The hook back, he does go down very quickly.
This is a team game. This is we're not going to carry the game on Nunu's back as much as I would love to, because
Urgot's
in a bad spot in the end, trying to 1v1 Demon Wall. There is a condemned. There is also the swap in the end, bringing himself actually to a huge disadvantage now that Nubish is here.
He's got the
kill.
The
lock on from the 3-pointer, but there's Nunu with the ult. I thought Lemonation was actually going to walk into that one for a second, but the lock on Nunu, and now he's got to get away there.
But Swain and Lee Sin are going to catch him on the other side. He is going down.
He's in a bad spot. Nubby Pooh Bear, no.
Oh, wow.
Nice, riding the wall. Gonna make it out.
Yeah, and he did have the flash as well, but
yeah,
they will be able to pick up this tower, so really nice job there. Darius, in the meantime, coming up behind Janna in the mid lane. He does have the red buff, so if he's able to catch her, he will be okay, but she does get out of there.
Yeah, Yuzuki just could not close the gap. Probably, and great, you got the passive movement speed on Janna, makes her a little bit more speedy. but Yuzuki just could not capitalize on that. But there is still opportunities to pressure up, to pressure Legion right here. Mortis once again getting caught out. Nien does not have the ultimate. Used it earlier in that last fight with Vayne, but still though, that is a catch that's putting Legion at a disadvantage. And Mortis, he's been away from the team. He's been kind of got caught out quite a bit actually. But here the rest of Legion is here to defend the mid tower. Should be more than enough to keep them away for the time being.
Yeah, so they will back off. That's another thing that Janna does very well, stalling pushes. Particularly against a short-range team, it's going to be very difficult to push into Janna because she can just keep on clearing the waves with her whirlwind later in the game. So that's going to be an issue for Orb. If Vayne, plays safe enough back, then it's going to make it difficult for them to engage. Still a while before we're going to see that quick silver sash. She's going to want to at least finish that Zeal, like she's working on. Maybe even finish the Phantom Dancer. But I think after the Zeal, she'll consider getting that QSS just because it's going to be tough against Urgot. But QSS, it was just nerfed. It's an extra 200 gold. So that is going to be a struggle for Vayne. The fact that she needs to constantly build damage and the fact that, if Urgot catches her, they're going to lose a fight.
Yeah, but for the time being, though...
Janna does have the quick knockup, though. So, I mean,
yes.
she could just rely on Janna to keep her alive if she plays defensively.
Well, not to mention, you also have the shield from Janna as well. Granted, how many... I'm assuming it's only one level, 2 levels in the shield. That's still something. That's still protection for Vayne, and it's still AD for Vayne as well.
If Vayne's in the middle of the team, the shield is not going to do shit.
Also true.
It doesn't matter if she's in the middle of it.
Yeah, that is also true. But Orbit right now, they're looking to go ahead and clear the wards over by the Baron Pit. And, that is definitely going to be a huge objective coming in. Possibly in the next few minutes, we are slowly creeping on in to the mid-game portion. But you still have the waves pressuring on mid. Orbit trying to get a little bit extra damage on the tower. The bot tier 1 does go down. Probably. Split push Janna, why not? Everyone's in mid. Janna, if you can make a quick escape, you might be able to pull this off. Still, and that's the thing too. The Whirlwind is going to be an amazingly good wave clearing tool as well. Look at how much damage that thing does just to a single line of sight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Janna's Whirlwind is awesome for AP Janna. It's really a lot of damage, and you can clear the entire wave. You're not just clearing the ranged minions or the melees. You're clearing the entire thing. So it will be interesting. Darius, it's always kind of a struggle with Darius. You do well early in the game, but if you don't have enough burst on your team, then in team fights, Darius, you don't really have the highest damage output. You have solid damage output, but if you can't use your ultimate to burst someone down, and if you're against a kiting team, that can be a struggle. They are clearing out the wards around here. They do have the oracles. But because their team, they have a lot of single target focus, it should be okay. Orb should be able to snowball the fight pretty easily if Urgot gets the swap, if Lee Sin gets in on someone, if Swain is in the middle of the team, just not dying and constantly dealing out that AoE damage.
Legion is a little bit split, though. They are going to see that Prolly is away from the rest of the team. Might be in his best interest to just run like hell. The rest of Legion is not too far behind, though. But there is a ward in there. Mortis, don't get caught out again. Then never move. The spell shield going to keep him safe. Nubish right out there in front. Nunu ult not happening just quite yet. Does evade the fear, but he is locked on from Urgot. He's hurting. He's hurting real bad right now.
Yeah, but they do have to back off because Inubish is so low. So this is actually going to be a free dragon for them. They will take it pretty easily. They have decent vision on Legion right now. Vayne popping in the mid, so they know that they're safe. They're not going for a quick Baron, so they will be able to grab that. But they have to watch out because Legion is kind of positioning themselves up there. They do have the double wriggles. There is the ward in the pit, so Orbit has an idea of where they are. They just walk past it, so they'll be fine. So a nice little gold lead for Orbit.
So now it's just a matter of where does Legion go from here? Because you have Orbit. They're sticking together in a full 5s clump. But you see Legion, they're splitting up, trying to take objectives. And granted, it's working great now. It can't last forever because because they're moving as a pack, can definitely try and go ahead and get these snipes. But now you see everyone from Legion, they're looking to possibly swarm here. And there you go, Prolly is caught out in front. There is Cruiser waiting for a swap in the end, cannot get in there. But there it is, flash for Prolly, and that is a dead Janna real quick.
Yeah, and that's true. Even if they don't get into Vayne, if they pick up Janna, then that's going to be a nice pickup for him. Nocturne's going to be kind of tough. He has the shield, and if they pick him up, it's not really going to help much. Kennen, if they pick up the Kennen with the swap, he's just going to ult and frozen Zonia's.
Yep.
But actually, Nubby walking in
Oh,
gets the stare
Nubish gets
onto Nubish.
caught right there, but he is in good position for an ult if he so desires. But it may not going to get the full proc, and Cruiser does have to pop the hourglass, but it's not going to really mean a whole lot. Lattimore does get caught. Never move spell shield, not doing a whole lot. We'll get that exhaust. Nubby Pooh Bear trying to clear the distance. Then Yazuki's not too far behind. He will not be able to get the pull. Too much ground has been made, but still Orbit is in a real good spot right now. High 9. He's really low at the moment, but as soon as he's got the rest of the team to back him up, Legion cannot say the same.
Yeah, and it's really tough for Legion right now because Orb is just rushing them, and Nubby Pooh Bear actually coming down again.
Teleport
The
from Prawley.
But they have to watch out for the rest of them. The Baron is pretty low. Nubby Pooh Bear doesn't have a lot of mana, so he's actually going to go down pretty quickly, but is able to back off. IO9 just barely living, but Legion is okay.
Nice.
And then the ultimate from Nocturne, he's able to grab the kill, and Legion wants to pursue this because they are pretty high right now. Demon Law has to watch out because his range is basically the same as Darius's pull range. I think it's the exact same. I think Darius's range is 550.
And everyone from Orb, they are looking to recall. The Tornado from Prawley going to keep Yuzuki behind just a little bit longer. And Kennen, bot lane, Cruiser, going to be looking to just go ahead and push that lane out. I had a feeling that there's actually possibly an opportunity for Legion to actually grab this Baron while everyone from Orb is backed, but with Kennen so far out, that's an impossibility at this point.
Or the impossible dream. So
I'm going to say impossible.
Okay. Yeah, so they don't go for it, but they do grab the blue. They're fine with holding off.
Yeah.
The big thing, it would be a really aggressive play that could just instantly lose them the game if it didn't work out. But they're perfectly fine with just sitting back and farming for a while because they want to get into that late game for Vayne. Since Vayne, if Vayne gets the right item combos and stays alive through these long fights, Vayne is going to beat almost any team comp in the game, and particularly against a tanky team comp. If they get caught up in all of the disables, because Darius, you can kite Darius fairly easily, then Vayne can just go to town.
Yep. And in terms of gold, Vayne is actually, Vayne's actually not too far behind Urgot. Urgot is like Urgot. What do I say? Urgot. What's an Urgot? Sounds like a fish or something. Not too far. Not too.
Think of what an Urgot is.
Urgot is sort of like some vegetable or something that grows
Okay, we're
somewhere.
done with the Urgot.
We're done with the Urgot. Vayne and Urgot are not too far behind in gold. So there's still something to be said there. Well, and really, to be honest, Legion and Orbit, the gold is actually still quite even. The towers are even. It's just a matter of who can. There's going to be one team fight somewhere in the map, probably around Baron or probably around Dragon, where someone's going to end up king and they're going to take away with it.
The issue though is Demon Law, he's really the only person on his team who's going to be able to kill anyone from Orbit almost. And, Kennen will be pretty nice, but Kennen against a tanky team, it's tough. You just don't have enough damage to take people down. So he's going to have a lot of CC. He's going to hopefully get them low so that Vayne can clean up. And Vayne is one of the best finishers in the game. Can get, those pentakills and those quadra-kills pretty easily. So, we'll have to see, but it's just the fact that they are so dang tanky. They can survive pretty easily.
May get grabbed from Yuzuki. No, just getting away from there, getting out of that one. But Orb, still though, all these wards going down around Baron. It's just like everyone's taking their turns. Just like, okay, we're gonna go down. We're gonna place our wards, and you can come by. You can clear them out, and then you can put your wards down. We're just gonna go back and forth like this for ever. But
they will be able to clear them out a little bit faster than forever, so they're going to be okay there. The ward over the wall, if any of them walk in, then Urgot could get the quick swap. And Urgot, the flash is up, so they have to watch out for that flash swap, particularly onto Vayne, but Janna as well, so it is going to be kind of tough. So if they actually get it on Janna, then it prevents someone from being able to easily clear out that Urgot swap.
There's a lot. In Legion, they know exactly where Orbit is. They all know they're camping out that bush. Just by process of elimination from vision and knowing what they know, they're pretty certain that they're all waiting there camping. But Lattimore, he doesn't know there's a ward right there. And there you go, waves going down. There's the lock on. Now they know. Legion knows. They're backing off. Is Orbit going to stay? Are they going to try and camp out another bush? Nien's backing, but Legion doesn't have vision on it right now.
Yeah, so they are fine, but playing pretty defensively. Soraka going to clear some more wards. The ward in the Baron pit, she actually didn't get it. So I think she just wanted to take a step back and wait for her team to be there so that they don't maybe group on her. Or they're actually just going to leave it up and then transition to the mid lane, not allow Legion to push. So Orbit trying to pick someone off isn't really going to work for them. They don't want to just force the Baron because, I don't know, it would be kind of tough. They do have a lot of damage. They could kill it pretty easily, but if they're all in that pit and then they have the Nunu and the cannon follow up on them and Janna as well.
Oh, Brawl, you may get caught. Yeah, there's the flash. The pull from Mizuki real quick. Janna goes down. That is going to be a free dragon for Orb. And Legion, they have no choice. They're going to have to sit back and defend. There is going to be probably a Baron attempt from Orb. They're looking to see what they can do. And Legion, they're just going to have to sit back and see what happens, see if they can possibly get another snipe like they did last time. And is Orb actually, are they just going to go straight on in for Baron? It seems like they might just do it. Are they going to engage, clearing out the boards? They're all here.
Yep, I think just going to go ahead and do it. So
yep.
Without Janna there, it could be kind of tough.
There you go.
They do have plenty of damage, and if they throw a ward over the wall, see someone over there, they could swap them into the Baron pit with Urgot and pick up that kill. And right now, Legion, they're being kind of defensive. They don't really have a great position for this engage.
I think Mortis, they're trying to time it so Mortis can like ult in and attempt a steal. The Demon Wall is right there, trying to get some damage on the Nubby Pooh Bear. The Baron health is dwindling very much so. Can they go in for the steal? I'm not so sure. Nocturne ult is still up the vision. They stole it! Legion stole the Baron. There's Nubish out in front of the pit with the Nunu ult, trying to get what he can. Demon Wall now looking to clean up the rest of Orbit. There goes Urgot. There goes Lee Sin. Kennen goes down in the process. Soraka double kill down onto Vayne. Can he get any more from this? There is the triple. Can he go for the quadra down here onto Nubby Pooh Bear? Don't steal it. You don't want to steal that moment. There's the ace. Mortis grabbing that last kill down. Wonderful steal from Legion. We're looking at that again.
AoE. They had to deal, and that was the issue. That was why they didn't want to force the Baron, is they're going to be all stuck there in Kennen, in Nunu, all of that AoE damage, and then Vayne is going to go to work.
Nice.
And the issue is Demon Wall was perfectly safe in the back. No one was getting in on Demon Wall. There was no pressure on Demon Wall at all, and so he was able to easily clean up and pick up kills left and right in that fight. The triple kill for Vayne, just not able to, they didn't get into her. They need to put the pressure on Vayne so they can win those fights, and it just didn't happen.
That was an amazing, amazing steal. They were waiting for that moment. And you also saw Nubish actually in the back of the pit. You know, every time there's a ward to be cleared, he throws down another. You have to have vision in order to go ahead and time something like that steal. That was just amazing, amazing play.
It just took a little bit too long. It gave Probably the time to revive and then teleport in. And now all of a sudden, Legion is just crushing this game. They have the top inhibitor. They're going to be able to get this mid inhibitor as well. So 2 inhibitors down, and they still have the Baron. And it's completely turned against Orbit right now.
Wonderful, wonderful work. Tornado going to go ahead and keep me in. And Lemon Nation a little bit busy. His ult is up. He could get a swap if he manages to close the gap, but I don't think he's going to be able to. And now Orbit, they're on full defense mode. Probably just going to go ahead and clear out this wave as well. Keep that lane pushing. Look at that Tornado, just clearing out all those minions.
They're just too fast. So,
yeah, just too fast.
They can get out of there. Janna can disengage very easily. But now, all of a sudden, Orb, their tournament life is on the line, and they went from winning this game. They went from being in such a great situation where they could pick off people one at a time to now, oh, wow.
And now to Vayne with a Guardian Angel.
Yeah, and
that's rough.
Guardian Angel, probably a better decision than QSS, actually, because if they focus her down, then she'll just revive. The issue is if they just stand right on top of you, basically. But the rest
there's
of the
too
team,
much. Kennen and Nunu.
The rest of the team has enough control that she will be okay, and Janna can always monsoon if they're on top of Vayne.
Yeah, so wonderful, wonderful coordination. Legion now looking for their final push. They have a little bit more. Well, they've got a little bit over minute and a half left on the Baron. They've done so much with it already, but I think they can actually still get a little bit more for their value. It looks like they may also get the bot tier 2 tower as well. It looks like Urgot, he has been spotted over here trying to get at his own red, but Legion a little bit acting too fast, grabbing the tier 2 in bot real quick, continuing the push. They still have the buff. They can go ahead and probably make an engagement on the tier 3 as well. Now all of Orbit is here to defend, and they're switching it up. Where are they going to head to next? They're going to go ahead and push it down mid and top? I think they might.
Yeah, I mean, they can just sit down
Oh, probably.
the bot lane. Nocturne could split push and just put a little bit more pressure, but there's already a massive creep wave top, and so it's going to hit the wave. They're going to have to deal with it. Otherwise, it's going to take a Nexus turret, and as a result, it's going to allow Legion to push in the bot. And the fact that Legion... Orb doesn't really have a strong initiation outside of Urgot, and Legion has plenty of means of disengaging. So it's going to be so difficult for Orbit to force a fight, and it's just going to be an easy job where Legion can just slow push the bot lane, allow the inhibitors to get the work done. Orbit also doesn't have very good wave clearing capabilities. It's going to be very slow for them to kill all these minions. They can't just clear out minion waves right in front of their tower, so Legion can force this fight, but actually the fight is already forced. Hyel 9 actually engaging on Janna. Janna does get out of there. The Kennen ultimate with the zone and Legion able to pick up the kill into Urgot. Swain is very tanky right now. A couple of them are pretty low, but Demon Law is not being harassed at all. He is perfectly fine. Darius goes down the double kill, turning on to Hyel 9. Cruiser is actually, or Vayne is actually able to pick up that last kill, and then turning on to Swain, gets the quadra kill. One more attack. No, Probably took it. So the almost quadra kill, but easily Legion able to win this game. They're able to push down the Nexus, and they win 2-0. They do qualify for IPL Face Off. Awesome game from Legion.
There you go. The Nexus goes down. GG. That is all she wrote. Legion, congratulations, you guys. Moving on, team number 3 joining Dynamic and MTWNA for IPL Face Off San Francisco Showdown. Wonderful, wonderful work. That was entertaining.
I wanted the Orbit win so we could see a game 3, and Orbit, they almost had it. It was a really close game the entire time, but it seemed like they just had a little bit more control. But that one fight underneath the Baron, when they're able to get all their AoE, and Orbit wasn't able to get into Vayne, and that was the issue. Orbit needed to either pick off people one at a time and then disengage, or they needed to kill Vayne. They can't have just a full head-on fight and not get into Vayne, and that's all there was to it.
That steal, man.
Yeah.
That steal
from Nocturne
was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. Oh, it doesn't happen. Plays like that don't happen very often. That was just wonderful coordination from Legion to make sure they had vision. They had plenty of time for probably to get back in there. Wonderful, wonderful play.
Yeah, preview for next week's top 5.
Yeah, actually, maybe, yeah.
No,
yeah,
it's
going to be in there. It's going to be in there for sure, absolutely. But that's also not all for today. We're going to be seeing Legion again later tonight.
Yeah.
Because they still have one more match coming up next. We're going to get hopefully an updated time for when this is actually going to happen. Curse versus Fornot, the other end of Losers Bracket. The winner there will also be going to IPL Face Off. It's going to be the last qualifier spot they're going to be battling out for. Winner there going to play Legion, because we got to have a winner in this qualifier, man. Someone's got to win this thing.
Yeah, no, so we'll see who's able to pick that up. I'm really excited for the next couple of matches we get to check out. We will have a short break, and then we'll be back shortly, see how long we have until this next game. It should be up right afterwards, though.
Yeah.
So it should be right up.
Be prepared. This may be a longer break than usual. We're going to go check with Mr. Nick Allen, see when this match is going to happen. And when we get updates, you'll get updates, and hopefully next time we come back, we're going to have a match. But we should be back pretty soon. Curse NA versus Fornot Fire. Next match coming up. See you in a bit.